No, I am very opinionated. I don't pull any punches. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to influence people. I'm here to tell it like it is, and I will do my best. I won't offend anybody or anything because I know it's recorded because I would go after not people, but I go after
Yeah.
organizations. But I'm not going to because I've learned anything you say or write can be considered slander or libel. And I'll do my best not to say the F word or
That's
it
I
might
will.
come out. I don't know.
That's okay. I will.
Mike,
You're
meet
fine.
Adam. Adam.
Yeah. Hi. I grew up with an ironworker father who swore like a sailor, and it's a trait that I picked up. So
Yeah.
welcome.
I'm not sure actually sailors swore. I think that's a real misnomer. I really do. I don't think that's true.
That's right.
I think it's there's a lot of studies done that the people that do swear are the most honest, communicative, and emotional
And
person.
by the way, we are live, by the way. I didn't realize it.
I don't
So
give a shit. Fuck it. Let's pull up George
welcome to
Carlin's.
Drink Up, everybody. So this
No more of
this is a first
fantastic.
for us. So we are definitely live streaming. So everybody, we've been talking for about 5 minutes, like what is going on? But I want to introduce you to Mike Levinson. He is the founder of FS Octopus. And maybe we were talking a little bit about a whole bit, but FS Octopus is food service, I believe. And I'm just interested in how you came up with the name. I think tentacles. I think that you're growing in a lot of different areas. Maybe, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about FS Octopus. And Adam, before get started, Mike, Adam, welcome. And Caress, welcome as well.
Welcome, welcome. And thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. Happy to chat with you and all the viewers and listeners out there. To answer your question, Sam, by the way, every time I see Sam Anderson, I think Sam Adams. I'm just saying. So quick story about me. My name is Mike Levinson, registered dietitian, incomplete master's degree, went to grad school at the same time in the 90s to be a dietitian, did my internship, never finished a thesis. So I can't really claim I'm a master's. If anyone ever wants to dig on that, it's incomplete, but I've got the educational background in nutrition. And I realized years and years and years ago, in order to make money and to have a sustainable lifestyle, dietitians really don't make a good amount of money. So I love sales. We're all in sales in some capacity. So I transitioned to the sales world as a dietitian. I've worked for many different companies, small companies, startups, all the way to large companies. Many years ago, I switched from a sales role. It was a sales role, but I went to the distribution world. I worked for Performance Food Group, PFG, fantastic distributor, broadline distributor. By the way, it just switched from Sam to Adam. I don't know why. So I'm looking at you, Adam, right now. Maybe you said something. I have it so it's only on one person. Now I'm back on Sam. Cool. So anyway, work for a distributor. And then my last gig, I worked for a large pizza manufacturer based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, driving all the food service alternative channels. I'll dive into what food service and alternative channels is in just a minute. You guys, please stop me. I don't call it interruptions. I call it me pausing because I will keep chatting. So I created Food Service Octopus because let me take a step back. There are basically three buckets in the food and bev world. I know that you guys are really in the beverage world. It's very similar to the food world, especially CPG products. There are three real buckets. Number one bucket is retail. There are about 77,000 retail distribution points out there, meaning the Walmart, the Costco, the Ahold, Kroger, Albertsons, HEB, Publix, Wegmans. I could keep going. All of the brick and mortar that have anywhere from 30,000 to 50,000 items in their grocery stores, right? That supermarkets, that's one bucket. The other bucket is D2C, online, direct to consumer, whether it's through Amazon, whether it's through your own website, a Shopify type platform, you're selling direct to consumers, or it's on other online grocery stores. There's Thrive and Nutrition and just a bunch of them out there that you are selling direct. You have no brick and mortar. Those are the two buckets. Somebody, they, them, he, she, air quote, decided many years ago, I don't know who this group was, that we've got really two buckets. Let's just throw everybody else in the food service bucket. So the word food service is thrown around quite a lot. I'm going to circle back to what I do and why I do it. Food service it's the junk drawer, if you will. It's the other bucket of convenience store, college, university, micro market, specialty, true food service, restaurants and hotels, military, prisons, cruise ships, airlines, anything that doesn't fall into retail, call it away from home. So I'm going to refer to food service and alternative channel as the exact same thing. And we can dive in down the road on what that really means. So I say this to everybody. Retail is relatively straightforward and easy, meaning you have a beverage or a food product and you make it in your basement in Des Moines, Iowa, and you're like, this is the best granola ever. I love this granola. And then you give it to your family and your family says, this is fantastic. I eat this every day. This is a game changer. Then you go to friends and you go to farmers markets and people buy it and everyone says, you are Michael Jordan. You are a champion. You need to go after retail. And so what do these people do? What do people do is they go and they try to sell to Whole Foods and Sprouts and Wegmans and H-E-B and Publix. I call that the ocean. Okay. Retail is the ocean. There's a theme here you'll understand in a minute. That's the ocean. So these food and beverage founders have been sold a bill of goods. Bill of goods means basically false bullshit that
I'm
you got
really
to go at.
interested in getting into this because we were talking earlier about founders that I all love and stuff, but I can tell you, I want to get into it. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm just going
No,
to,
interrupt.
yeah, going to pop in. I mean, we have a brand, I guess already nameless, that they decided to part ways with us yesterday, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. But they got some early on success. They got into an incubator program and they got into the innovation program what's that innovation program with Sprouts, and they're like, they're
Mhm.
getting into Gelson's and they have this early on success. So they're sitting there pounding their chest like, well, why haven't you gotten us into these places? Why are you only getting into the one liquor store and the whole bit? And I was thinking about the tortoise and the hare. And the tortoise and the hare is, I'm not a hare, I'm a tortoise. I go one account at a time. I go get one shelf at a time. I get one cold box at a time, one display at a time. But we weren't moving fast enough because the hare, which I think they've been sold a bill of goods, has gotten them early on success. Because I'm like, I'll be here in a year when it all implodes. I don't know if that's the path you're going to, but I had to just get it out.
No, you are 100% correct. Here's the big picture for your viewing and listening audience, because we only have 4 hours to talk today. I know we're cutting it back,
We'll just
you
go
know.
live anytime.
We'll just go live every
Yeah.
day forever. So here's the problem. The playbook is let's go after retailers. Okay. So there might be some early success with retailers. I got to go back to Sam. Sorry, because I keep looking at Adam and keep switching me back here. Adam, can you say something? I'm going to pin. There you go. I'm going to pin you.
Something. There we go.
Okay, good. You're pinned. Just because, whatever. It's easier than
Yeah,
go
you
back
can
and forth.
change your view, by the way. I can see all of you on my view.
I know. I don't want to see myself. That we talked about that with Koresh. So
Yeah.
I see myself every day.
Yeah.
So anyway, these food and beverages get in the mindset that they're going to play in the ocean. Okay. And let's say a beverage, I have no idea what beverage company you're talking about or food company. There's thousands of them, right? And they say, we're going to get in the Sprouts Innovation Program. Okay. And they're going to be in the middle of the store. So they get into Sprouts through a distributor, and there's a few distributors, which I don't name any distributors except for the ones that I love. And they're really tough to deal with. They're expensive. There's a lot of deductions and bill backs, and they basically own you. So you get on the shelf and you are renting space at a retailer. So let's say you get a product on the shelf and the turns are amazing. Turns means velocity, means let's just make up a number. The standard is 5 units per SKU per week, per store, whatever, and you're doing 8. The retailers, I'll pick on Sprouts. I have no problem picking on Sprouts. Sprouts pays attention to this, and they see that Sam's beverage is crushing it, and they know exactly what formulation it is. What are they going to do? They're going to knock you off, and they're going to come in cheaper because they own the customer. That's on one side. The other
private
side,
label thing, that is real, but
private label.
yeah.
On the other side, the retail world, the brick and mortar 77,000 retail distribution points is owned by private label, $271 billion. And we throw billions around like it's millions, right? That's 1,000 billions. That's a lot of flipping money in private label. And we can dive into that in a moment. Or the other side is the large, big companies, and I'm happy to name them, like the Mondelez, Kraft, Unilever, ConAgras, Nestle's, Pepsi's, Cokes of the world. There's a handful of them. They own the retail space, okay? They own it. They've got deep pockets. They've got major brand awareness.
I worked for the Coca-Cola company and Kellogg company. We bought our space, by the way. It wasn't selling, it was
Correct.
buying. And by the way, I told them how much they could buy from me. I'm like, how many Pop-Tarts do you want? Nope, you can only have 2 trucks, not 3 trucks, because I didn't want them to divert. Totally different business. And by the way, no one was going to come take my shelf space because I bought it. And I bought my ads too. So if you think you're going to show up and get my space or my ads or my cold box,
You're not.
forget it. I bought it.
You're not. Yeah. And so, I say to anyone that I chat with, let's take food and beverage out for a minute and put clothing in.
Yeah.
And you've got a great t-shirt brand, and you go to Macy's or whatever the Dillard's or whatever the other Kohl's, you are renting space. Unless you're the private label, unless you're the store brand, you are renting space. That's all you're doing. So a salesperson will get product on the shelf, whether it's 2 inches, 2 feet, or a whole aisle. You get it on there. Marketing will take it off. So if you don't have the right marketing, you're going to lose. So either way, at retail, there's a good, unless you have a unicorn product or you've got a product that is a little bit different and it's got a great taste and it's priced right and you've got the brand awareness and you've got the promotion and the TPRs and you're slotting and you're really supporting the retailers, you're going to lose. I have seen many brands, many more fingers than I have, go into the natural channel, a Sprouts, get into 400 stores and lose and go bankrupt. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I just love this conversation. It's so appropriate. I don't know if Alicia's listening to this, but it's just, we're in the same thing. Let me step back. Let's just step back a little bit. Adam's thinking, Crust is keeping us organized and flowing and going, right? But I just want to step back. So FS Octopus, what is it that your company does? I don't know if I missed that, if you said it a whole bit. Let's go back.
I think I'm going a long way. I'll be really brief. Retail, anyone can get into retail. It's not hard. There's a lot of salespeople, consultants, fractional sales brokers that can go into retail. It's very straightforward. Food service is very fragmented. I'm going to share my screen with you guys.
Please.
So I can kind of dive in.
while you're doing that, Mike, real quick, I want to call out Robert, always with us on Saturday mornings. Thank you for hopping in. Couple comments. Don't go chasing waterfalls. You just described the Poppy acquisition. Brick by brick, I'm building this thing, and he says renting.
Who's commenting, man? I know these people.
You probably know. Do you know Robert Kogan? You might know Robert.
I know Robert. Yeah.
Well, good morning, Robert.
I know most
and thank
people.
you for
Hello,
joining us.
guys. So here's my logo. I created this logo because the alternative channel food service world is extremely fragmented. There's not a one clear cut answer. Retail, there is. You got to do resets. Oh shit, I missed my reset by 6 weeks. You got to go back, do another reset in 6 months or a year. Or you go to a category buyer. It's very straightforward. You go on Range Me. I call it simple. It really is. It's not hard. Food service, alternative channels is. And there are more channels than my tentacles. There's only 8 tentacles on an octopus, right? So I kind of shove things together. So top left, college, university, and K-12. then there's hotels, then there's convenience store, micro market, hospitality, business and industry, military, cruise ship, prisons, and restaurants. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done of all of the different channels.
So, Mike, I want to interrupt, but I think it's for the sake of being a bit granular example. So, I have a brand. I'm actually drafting an email to you and the brand owner right now because I think you could be a huge resource. It's a gentleman I work with, super young brand, very early days. I mean, had first run of product made commercially. It's August, it's January, 7 months ago, right? Very early stage brand owner. And his name's Griffin. I've called him out on the show before. If you're listening, Griffin, if you see this, love you, buddy. Hope you're having a good weekend. Really good product. He has gotten feedback on it anecdotally from, I mean, you talked about like the granola bar, right? Feedback from family, friends, strangers at samplings, that kind of thing, in the I'll call it the 55 plus crowd, right? That they really enjoy it. And he has noticed it's been almost unevenly so, right? Like more people in that age group are coming to him and saying how much they enjoy it as opposed to maybe a younger crowd. So his idea, and I don't hate it, I mean, I've told him to pursue it because I don't know anything about it, is to go reach out to some of the, what am I trying to say? Like the timeshares or the assisted living facilities or places where people of that generation might be in a denser populace, right? Is that something that you would be able to kind of help educate him on and maybe help with? As from a food service for those types of facilities, hospitals, senior care facilities, assisted living facilities,
He needs to
older,
put another tentacle on that thing and to grow another leg.
right?
Adam, yes, I you you said the word help a few times. I don't use that word help. I use pay me, and I'm happy to come aboard
Yeah,
and
yeah,
get shit
yeah,
done.
yeah.
Really, like
Like I need to
help is
hang
just
out
a
with you more often,
be real.
man.
I hear I'm very opinionated on the word help because everyone it's a soft way of saying like hell. No, 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 no. It's about realistic expectations.
Sure.
You know, I work backwards with brands and products and owners, and they have to understand, I have to understand where their target market is. And for this, I don't know the product. I don't know anything about it. Maybe I do, but I don't know as you're talking. This is a skilled nursing facility, assisted living, independent living, retirement product skewed toward the older. So kind of a simple question I ask all my brands is, where are your customers? Who are they? And I'm going to dive in really quick. And by the way, I
Please.
love chasing waterfalls and going all over the board here. The problem with brands is the following. It's really simple. Is a couple things. They wear multiple hats.
Uh-huh.
Okay. They are underfunded. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Okay. They don't have a clue because they go after retail. They chase anyone and everybody. And I give this example all the time. There is a fantastic little clip by a guy named Chip Wilson. And people are like, I've heard of Chip Wilson. What does he do? He started a really small little brand in Vancouver, Canada called Lululemon. Okay. On an interview, he said the following. The interviewer said, who's your target market? And he paused and he goes, a 30-year-old woman who makes $110,000 a year or more, lives in a high rise, likes to travel and finer things in life. Not a 29-year-old, not a 31-year-old. So I ask people this question all the time. Who's your target market? 98% fail. Somebody told me the other day, anyone with a mouth. And I about slapped
Oh
my
my
head
God.
saying, really? And then somebody else said, I said, who's your target market? And this person gave me a very wide range. And then this person came back with this answer. M&M's doesn't have a target market. And my answer is, you're not M&M's. They've been around for 100 years. They're a $100 billion company and they've got established brand. You don't. I would get the hair on the back of my neck standing up when someone comes to me and says, you know who my target market is? It's a 12-year-old Boy Scout that likes Dungeons and Dragons and Superman comic books, and that's it.
This
You
is
gotta be
really interesting to me. I mean, it's kind of on the same path, but we talk to brands all the time because one of the things we like to do is actually get brands started. We have a fast start program, so to speak. Mike, and connect them with folks like you, right? The experts in that space. Like if someone wants to go into food service or those tentacles, I'm like, hey, meet Mike. Matter of fact, the person we talked to, he goes, you and Alicia know a lot of people. I'm like, that's what we do. We know a lot of people. We don't know because we don't have all the answers. So we have a lot of people in our around us because they can help you make decisions. But in our business, it's like these founders, like the distributors say, hey, I'll take you, but your price is too high. And then they turn and tell the distributor that they're wrong, right? And it's like they don't even understand, like they don't understand how to price their item. They just
So I
make up the
guess
price.
I'm
It
gonna
just comes out of
I'm gonna
nowhere.
I'm gonna piggyback on that question, Sam, and I'm gonna use it to ask your question and mine. So, Mike, when we think about FS Octopus, whether it's for the brand Sam just mentioned or mine, I guess walk us through because it'd truly be helpful, and I would love to send business your way. I think we both would. It would truly be helpful to understand how small can you get in terms of your product offering. Like if somebody just said, "Hey, I'm willing to admit to you, I am a total fucking idiot when it comes to this and I just need to pay you for an education right now. Can we start there and then grow to, hey, I'll pay you for everything under the sun? And what are the stage gates or segments in that? Like, what's that look like?
yeah. So it's a great question. I don't have a cookie cutter answer. Here's my answer: is here's what I do and here's what I don't do. I do fractional sales and consulting. I've got a database probably of 10,000 email contacts. I don't give a shit who it is. I don't know all of them
Sure.
in the sense of I'm not going to pick up the phone and call a 7-Eleven buyer and go, "Hey, it's Mike. What's up? How's your Saturday?" But I know how to navigate those waters, number one, which is really important. Here's a problem. The problem is people come and say they throw out words. It's like they're learning a language. Like I just learned Spanish and I learned hola and bueno. And so they throw out these words: food service, GPO, dot foods, Airmark, Sedec. They don't know what it means for the most part, right? You can go look those up. That's like easy. So I'm looking at Adam now because I just switched over to Sam. You're in the corner. So my answer is yes, I do work on an hourly, I do work on a fractional basis. Here's what I don't do. Sorry if there's a cat meowing. It's my son's cat who likes
It's
to
good. We love it because we're live, raw, and real. Bring the
Uh-huh.
cat on, man. It's good.
well, you know what? Oh, she ran off. She got 3 legs. It's a whole long story. Yeah, she's cool. Here's what I don't do, and I don't waste anyone's time is I'm not going to broker your product on a commission basis only.
Oh my God. Thank you for saying that. Everybody comes up. Hey, will you work on a commission? No, I won't. Matter of fact, I
No,
just
no,
got one
listen.
last night. Like, hey, would you be willing to do this at a lower cost? It's like, no.
Yeah. Well, here's my answer. It's very simple. Everyone likes something for free. I talk to a lot of brands. Let's say out of 100 brands, 97 of them just want to suck me dry for information. Okay.
Alicia, are you listening to this? I mean, my God, she's probably just like, oh, I agree.
So here's what someone told me. I am happy to talk to any brand out there. And I do absolutely love talking to brands. And I do love helping. And I love their stories, not their story why they created it, but where they are and what they're all about. And brands are desperate, guys. They are desperate for getting out of retail because retail is a dead end. And they are tens of thousands of brands are really focusing on the non-traditional retail / alternative channel world. It's a big world. I've got hours and hours to talk about it, which I won't because we only have 40 more minutes. So high
We can
level.
stay on all day. Mike, this is a great conversation. I'm really, I'm cool with it. If everybody wants to stay in Lincoln Land and use their Saturday with us, it's great. Just
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go and make banana bread in a little bit here. So that's out. Um, so I'm not interested in brokering on a commission. I'll tell you why. It's really simple. A few reasons. I don't want to cut into their margins, right? Taking 5 points, 3 points, whatever. It's not good for their margins right now for that. Number
bingo.
one. Number two, it's more simple than that is you got to put some skin in the game, brands. Okay. Everyone wants something for free. And my comeback is, tell me the last time you spoke to an attorney for more than 15 or 20 minutes, and then you kept on talking to them and they gave you free, 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 and they did all, unless it's a pro bono, because they know they're going to get paid and it's a contract.
Yeah.
So
I
I
just
know a
got
lot
my
of,
attorney bill, Adam. It was high, by the way.
yeah,
It's okay. We'll get through it. But
I know a lot of brands that will hire a broker. The broker gets them distribution, and then they tell the broker to go fuck off. It doesn't work that way with me. I do fractional sales consulting. I think the important factor for every brand out there is realistic expectations. What's your expectation working with a
that's been a
consultant or a
topic all this week for us, actually. Alicia and I have been going back and forth is we'll take a goal, but it has to be realistic. We had a brand come to us and they said, hey, we're interested in doing a deal. And they said, we're going to do 2,000 cases. I pushed back and said, well, how did you arrive at that number? Can you share with me what your current performance is in your market? We'll index it against population, legal drinking age, or whatever. And then how much are you willing to spend in that market to drive the business?
yeah.
I haven't heard
Yeah.
back from him yet, but I pushed back. We just don't
No, I
accept
mean, I think,
goals just to take
yeah,
them.
I think realistic expectations is if a brand comes to me and says, hey, I've got zero distribution in alternative channel. I'm in, 3 DCs at Unifier KE. I'm doing 7,000 a month in sales, but I want to bring you on. I'm going to do 1 million a month in sales through Vistar or McLean, or I'll tell them, share what you're smoking or where you got the information from or what's your
Look at a
plan.
THC brand, probably hemp-based
Right.
product.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So that's what it comes down to, right? Is I work with all kinds of brands and I am very particular in who I work with. And this is no offense to brands that are out there, but I've been pitched by honey brands, salt, Himalayan sea salt brand, olive oil, quinoa, peanut butter. If I can't add any value, I'll tell it straight
Right.
up. I have no value to add. I can't do anything for you. What makes your product unique and different? And I take brands from wherever they are and put a path together. And I do a lot of fractional sales. I've got four bigger customers I work with now
Yeah.
that are paying my monthly needs, if you will. And then I've got some other smaller ones out there. I think the most important thing for me is that I fight for the Davids versus Goliaths that are out there.
Yeah.
Because the Goliaths are the top 10 or 12 in the beverage world. Those guys. I want the little brands that have a unique proposition, that are willing to learn. And I say to everyone, I invest in jockeys and not horses. That's
Yeah.
what it comes to.
I can't wait to introduce you to some of our brands, actually, Rob, Mike. You can definitely help. Here's a question for you. This, again, we were going back and forth on different things. I'm hoping you're wanting to play here. What percentage of brands that go into like KE actually fell like in the innovation program? It's just top of mind with me.
The
Like,
golden
like
ticket program.
Yeah, the golden ticket program. The most of them just like are they in and out, and then these people are like, "What happened?" These brands like, "I'm in it. I'm the number one performing item in the innovation program. I just met with the Sprouts buyer, and things are great. And you guys actually did a terrible job." I mean,
Mike, before you answer, can I tell you what my experience has been and you tell me if that's common? So, brand I worked with recently, who Sam knows, who shall remain nameless, right? Got involved with the KE Golden Ticket program. And this is saying that I'm not because they were unaware of the situation. And so I'm not saying that the brand did anything wrong. I'm saying, to use your words, Mike, they were kind of sold a bill of goods. So they got in this golden ticket program. It was, oh my God, champagne's going to fall from the heaven. Velvet ropes will par. It's going to be amazing. And it was okay. And then the golden ticket program ends, and then they're getting all these deductions and these billbacks. And it's, the brand's looking at it going, what the hell? Like, what's happening? And they're like, oh, well, you're not the special baby anymore. We have a new round of special babies for the golden ticket program for this year. So either pay us for your rental of the space in our stores and our distributor, or you pound sand. We don't care about you anymore. Is that a fair synopsis?
100%. Answer Sam's question. I don't know the percent. I know that I call it, everyone knows Expo West, right?
yeah,
I'm happy to call it right in front of, and I'll put it out there publicly. It's Expo Waste. I'm going to go and wear a shirt Expo.
yeah. And I tried to get on a media pass, but somehow Adam got to go. But anyway, but you know
Well,
what?
I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
a waste.
it's a total waste. Most shows are a waste of time and money, and very, very, very few get any results at all.
Right.
I
Then they
I
want
I,
like
I do know,
$6,000 to show up there. Like, for what? I could just make a phone call.
yeah, I have strong opinions on that. I don't know the exact number or percent that make it on their little golden ticket in front of their shelf. You know, that's I don't know that. I have no idea. I do know that many, many, many thousands and thousand brands that go to Expo Waste out of 3,500 are gone after 1 or 2 years. You know, so once again, brands need to pull their head out of the sand and realize the landscape has changed. I am not saying don't go after retail. I am saying the following. Certain retailers make sense, especially the independent. There are 22,000 independent retailers out there.
That's the
Okay.
tortoise. That's the tortoise, Mike. That's one account at a time, man.
It's about partnership.
Yeah.
But look, and this, I'm like a broken record for brands. So anyone listening, they're going to hear that kind of my same spiel. It's like a comedian, right? That you go to different cities every year and you hear the same spiel. So anyone that I'm looking at a baseball, you guys like
Can I interrupt?
baseball.
I got to interrupt. Don't you have a thought? But we have people coming in, and I want to make sure we don't miss it. I'll take one, and you take the other one. Jim Harris says this is great to learn about the food service business, and I love how you get to the point. By the way, and then I'm
We got
gonna
we
go
got
to.
several from Robert. And again, Robert, thank you for being engaged with us on a Saturday morning. One of the ones he said was, notice how Cisco GFS are mentioned one time for every 100 times we hear about UNFI KE. And then Caleb, who I don't know if I've seen the comments before, but welcome to the show. Says owner and winemaker at Gunpowder. I'm assuming that's Creek. So again, thank you for joining us, Caleb. You said, okay, this is exactly the conversation I've wanted to quote overhear among insiders. So good. Keep talking, please. These stories are super helpful.
But stop commenting and let me talk. I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding. Okay, let
Bring it on, man. I mean, honestly, thank you for joining as well as
me-
Robert, and then my friend Jim as well. So that's awesome.
So I want to go back really quick to my, and I don't, I'm not, I'm not going to pull punches. I'll tell it like it is. And, it's in life, it's about partnerships, right? It's not a one-way thing. So anyone out there that is a baseball, football, basketball, tennis, lacrosse, hockey, golf, underwater basket weaving, I don't give a shit what it is. Okay. I'm going to pick on baseball because it's really, really simple. Okay. I live in Denver and we've got a fantastic baseball team called the Colorado Rockies. That's a joke because they suck and I don't care about them. Anyway, I'm a 7-year-old boy and I have a really, really good swing. I swing a baseball bat really good at 7 years old. And I go in the backyard and my mom says, damn, son, you are a really good baseball player. And I say, I am. And my mother says, fuck it. We don't need to play T-ball. Let's go try out for the Rockies because you're really good. And all your neighbors are saying how good you are. So you go to the Rockies and you try out. That's the same goddamn thing as going after retail. Okay. Same thing. So stop playing in the ocean, folks. Start playing in rivers, lakes, streams, and ponds in your backyard. Find your target market. Be specific who your target market is. Get brand loyalty and brand awareness. Focus on your social media. I dig into social media. And if you're Sam and Adams and Caress's popcorn brand, the three of you guys you haven't posted since 2023, the fuck's wrong with you? Okay. You should be posting every day. Simple.
I think
It really
Caleb's digging this, by the way. Caleb says 22,000 independent retailers, the tortoise. I like to think this is also true for wines in U.S. retail.
I don't know the alcohol world. I was on I was on a beer podcast a handful of months ago, and I said to he was in Vegas, and
Yeah.
I said to the guy, great guy, Chris. I said I don't know shit about the alcohol world, but it's very, very, very similar.
That's what I do, and Adam does, and Alicia, and Caleb's here. That's what we do. We try to bring reality to people. Try to tell them, look, if you want to play in this world, this is how this world works. But if you don't know your point, if you don't know who your target is, and what you're going after. And if you're all over the place, success is probably not in your future.
You know what? Look, I'm gonna talk, and we chase a lot of tortoises and hares and rabbits on this podcast, and I like that. I think it's really cool. I lost my train of thought, but I'm gonna go back to it. The
You don't
issue,
alcohol space. You don't know really that well.
well, okay, I remember it. Here's the issue, and I had a conversation with the group the other day, and they really. I'm gonna back up. People contact me and they do think I'm Deepak Chopra or Mother Teresa or Gandhi, that I have some special power. I don't have any fucking special power. I'm not a magician. I don't pull things out of hats. I don't have a secret website, food service at foodservice.com. I don't. Okay. But I say this to a lot of people. If I'm going to drive from Denver to Des Moines, Iowa, what am I going to do? Am I going to get in the car and I'm just going to start driving somewhere? I could end up in Texas, California, the Canadian border, Kansas, Nebraska. I probably won't get to Des Moines, Iowa if I get in my car and just start driving. I have a roadmap. I have GPS. I'm following it. Why aren't brands doing the same thing with their business? Why don't they have a roadmap instead of going all over the place? And one of my coined terms is your brand should be like a band, okay? A musician, right? I don't give a shit what band it is. You can name a band, and I guarantee it, they've got a bassist, guitarist, drum, lead singer, pianist, banjo, harmonica. I don't give a shit. They all have their roles. So back to my point is, the problem with most brands is they don't know if there's pain points. Okay. They think they're solving a pain point because in their mind, they've solved the pain point because of their friends and family, and they think it's a great product and they like it and they eat it or drink it. Have they solved the pain point? Okay. That's the biggest thing. I don't care if it's at a retail, true food service, working back of the house. I don't care what it is. If there is no pain point that they have a solution for, they're not going to succeed. Pure and simple.
Mike, I have a question.
Chris.
Is there a solution, as you said, with brand awareness and coming out of like the area that they were in? Is there a solution with going online and selling in online shops and through social media?
Dive in deeper. Go a little. What is that? Is there a solution? What are
Is
you
that like
looking
that
for?
in between before going into the ocean and plane? Is that helping with brand awareness, going on social media and selling through websites and TikTok shop and those smaller areas before they go to play in the ocean?
That is a unbelievably amazing question, and you are spot on. Here's the problem. The problem is that founders treat their brands like their babies, right? Whether it's a human baby or an animal, and they love it and they're very biased. So they go after retail thinking that my child is a golden star. Not the way to go. You are 100% correct. And I tell brands all the time, this is high level what needs to happen with these brands. You switched to Sam. I'm going to look at you in the corner, Caress. Here's the problem, or here's a solution. The solution is control your media. I don't believe in advertising. I think advertising at startup scale is a waste. Okay. People see right through it. I'll dive in just a minute what I'm talking about. The real clear path in food and beverage. Beverage is I wouldn't call it a challenge, but more difficult than food. Refrigerated and frozen is a real challenge online. However, it's doable. Now you switch back. It's doable and it's feasible. I tell every brand, start with the social media, start selling it on Amazon. I know Amazon is a beast and they're difficult and you don't own the customer, but here's what category buyers do. Whether you're a restaurateur, category buyer, procurement, sales, anyone that you want to sell to, here's what they do is they go to your website. Okay. They go to your brand website and they look at it and they go, oh, that's okay, cool. Then they go to Amazon. Oh, you're not on Amazon, or your reviews suck on Amazon, or you have no reviews on Amazon. Then they're like, okay, that's a red flag. Then they go to social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and you're not posting anything. And then they say to themselves, Why do I want to work with this brand if they got no marketing, nowhere to support getting the product off the shelf? Okay. We can put it on the shelf, but if nobody knows about it, it doesn't.
That's funny. You just described what I normally do. I'll actually go find the brand. I'll go to their website, see something about it. Then I'll go to Amazon to see if I can order it. I don't go to the third step to actually go to their social media, but if it's not on Amazon, I'm usually not going to order it. Now, my wife has discovered TikTok Shop and been ordering purses.
Whatnot
What I do
is
all
another
night
one.
is
Right.
when I find a brand,
Trust me,
I go and buy it on
another
TikTok
purse
Shop.
from TikTok Shop has arrived at the door, but they've done a good job. They're
So,
out
so,
there.
so, so let me ask you in the audience a very, very simple question. How does it feel to have a brand? Here's my brand. And you go to a buyer and they get 1,000 brands a week and they don't give a shit about you. And they ignore you, tell you to fuck off, tell you it's going to cost you a free case per store or $1,000 per store per SKU. Versus, how does that feel? You stay in your own lane, you control your own destiny, and you put great content out there. You know who your brand is, you're selling it online, and then a buyer says, hey, I saw your brand online. They reach out to you and they say, I want your brand. How, isn't that a different conversation than being one of everyone to see a sameness and you're going to go after everybody else and try to, mine's better. And by the way, if I fucking hear one more time, better for you, first to market, best this, I'm gonna come to
So
suck.
Walmart, I was at Walmart about 4 weeks ago, right? Met with the NA buyer, and he gave us some feedback. The smartest 25-year-old that I've ever met, by the way. We were just talking about this guy. I mean, he just basically went brand by brand and told us why it's not going to work in Walmart. And he actually said he said exact those words, better for you, low calorie, it doesn't matter.
First, I'm the first one ever, first to market.
Because I got a
Yeah.
he goes, I got a 4-foot piece of shelf space, and I got to put the highest performing brands in that shelf space.
Okay, so let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Feastables, right? Mr. Beast. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Shake your head, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a good product? No, nothing good. But he's got millions and millions. So what happens? He's done the hard part. Okay.
Yeah.
He's got the marketing
Yeah.
done, right? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to the following: fantastic marketing, great tasting product, priced competitively, and the right distribution. Without one of those, you're screwed, right? If the product is less expensive, tastes like shit, you're toast. If it tastes great and it's way more expensive, you're toast. If people don't know about the product at all, you're toast. And the problem is with brands is they go down the retail path and they hire a broker and the broker promises them the world and they don't do shit, right? And I told the broker this the other day. I said this, and I work with some brokers and there's some great brokers out there. Here's what I said to the broker, and he's like, dude, you were spot on. I said, brands need to treat a broker like a piece of exercise equipment.
Thank you.
If you use it and you know how to use it and you work with it, you're going to get results. If you let the action, or a tennis racket or a golf club, you got golf clubs, it looks like behind you. If you don't use a golf club, you're not going to get anywhere. Don't think the golf club's going to go hit the golf ball on its own. Don't think the tennis racket's going to go hit the tennis ball on its own. So these brands think they're going to hire a broker and it's the only brand that they're going to work with and they're going to go out and crush it. It doesn't work that way, guys. It doesn't work that way. Okay.
That's
So
interesting. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I want a few things. We're getting some good comments again from Caleb. He said, he said the wine business has become brutal for us over the last 30 years. Where once we could walk into a local store and sell our wines to the manager in the 90s, now all branded grocery stores are centrally purchased by one person in a high rise in a faraway city whom we don't know. Unless we are with their approved distributor and preferred by that distributor, we find ourselves blocked out of multi-state branded grocery. The thing we really need to do as wine biz folks is two things: better digital communication and find new ways to show up in the market that's truly entertaining. I totally agree on the pain points and avatar awareness. That was another comment from above. It's not about the product, it's about the customer. Make the customer happy by changing your product to meet their needs. And then he said, we're trying to align our org media and future paid ads to do one thing, send Avatar clients to the store that sell our wines. So I've got a story and then a question, and I know we're coming up on time. So again, Griffin, who I'll introduce you to, through a friend of a friend and a family connection, gets this was a couple months ago now. He gets introduced to someone, I don't even know that they were a buyer, but just a body at Costco. Right now, I told you the stage he's at, and he asked me, he said, and he kind of knew the question he was asking because you could see it in his face. He was like, could that be a thing? And I went, Griffin, absolutely fucking not. You are not ready for Costco in any way, shape, or form. Right. And he goes, okay. And I said, but have the conversation, learn something if you can. Right. Sure. And so he did. And he sent samples to this person who then passed them along to a buyer. The buyer came back and said, yeah, I didn't like him. It didn't taste good. And to your point about how does it feel, right? Like it crushed this kid. He's like 27. He was like, what, what, like, can I ask him why they didn't? I'm like, dude, let it go. Like everybody's palate's different. Who knows? Maybe they just had a cup of coffee. Who fucking knows, right? Who cares, to be perfectly honest? And he goes, well, what do I do about that? Like, what if I want to get into Costco later? And I said, you build your brand to the point where Sam's Club likes you. And then you go to Costco and say, hey, they're offering me the world, or they, are interested in my product. Do you guys want it first? Right? To your point of the feeling when somebody notices, oh, this brand's growing, we would like to be involved with them. Right. And I think it kind of broke his brain a little bit of how long is that going to take? I don't know, 5 years. Let's call it that for now.
Well,
So my
they all
question,
think they're going to scale it and sell it in like 2 years. I got this great brand. We're gonna 10x it in 2 years. I'm like, really? Okay.
so the question that comes as we're running out of time that comes from me is from your perspective, and I'd be really interested to know how you would segment this. New brand, bigger brand. Obviously, it's going to change over time, but let's talk within the first 10 years because most of the folks I'm working with and Sam's working with are early stage brands. If you had to give it a split, you talked about 3 buckets when you got on. You talked about e-commerce, you talked about retail, and then you talked about food service and all the things that includes. I'm assuming it's not an even 30%, 30%, 30% in terms of I should focus a third of my business here and a third of my business here and a third of my business here. So in a perfect world from a general split perspective, is it 50% food service, 30% e-commerce, 20% retail? Or do you have a sense or like a general guiding percentage for those things? Does that make sense?
It does. I'm going to answer with an analogy.
Sure.
I like analogies. It kind of helps me. You are on a lake, a river, lake, an ocean, body of water, and you've got a small sailboat, right? And you don't have the sails up. You're going to go whatever direction. But if you have the sails up, you're controlling where you're going. Okay. So my thing is, for most brands, high level overview is the following to Caressa's point. D2C, build your brand, build awareness, build loyalty. It's better to have 1,000 people that love your product and they're buying it online and Amazon. Okay. It's a different conversation because just remember, these buyers get bombarded with brokers, manufacturer reps, distributors. This is a great product, blah, blah, blah. There is no great. It's me. There's a bunch of Me Too products out there. Most of them are Me Too, right? And it's a marketing play. It's a different conversation. Adam froze on me. It's a different conversation, unless his eyes are just closed forever. It's a different conversation. Now you're back. It's a different conversation to have where you are controlling your destiny. Someone one time told me many years ago when I just got dumped by a lovely gal before I met my lovely wife. Someone said to me, stop chasing love. It's like chasing a butterfly. Let it come to you. Okay. So stop chasing retailers unless it just makes perfect sense and you walk into your local independent store and say, hey, I'm local, support a local beverage or food product. And you know what? Let's put some product on the shelf for free. Let's give you a free case. Let's see how it sells. I want feedback. That's what I want. And by the way, Griffin or whatever his name is or whoever it was, the word feedback is what you guys got to really embrace. Okay. It's not yes or no, because I get feedback all the time and I want to understand what the mentality is. There's not enough hours today to really dive into category buyers and their mentality and how it's all done. A lot of them look at data. They look at stats. They look at how we lost Adam.
It's okay.
I hope he comes back because he sure does make this show great. Just kidding.
He does.
All three of you guys are amazing. I know hopefully Adam will come back, but to answer his question is I would focus the majority of my time on D2C. I would focus it on possibly some smaller independent retailers if it just makes sense. And I would focus on who my target customer is and where they are shopping. I hear all the time, I want to get in convenience stores. There's 155,000 convenience stores out there. Your product's not ready for a convenience store right now. They're small mini markets, probably not ready for that. But maybe there's some independent channels, or maybe there's a college and university in your backyard that's who your target market is. So it's hard to answer that question. The problem is that 99% of brands are 100% retail focused, and that's why they're desperate. I will use that word desperate because they are desperate for sales and distribution, and stop following everybody else in the retail world and doing what they're doing. And I don't want to hear any more from any brand that just launched that they have a 2 to 3 year exit plan and that they're going to do this and exit. That's all bullshit. Okay. It doesn't work that way. Get in the game because you love it and you have passion about it. And this is your baby, and that you think that you are going to solve somebody's problem with your okay. And I just want to really quick touch on high level on one of the big issues with brands and the social media aspect of it. 98% of brands do the following, and they're losing. They go on social media and they say, look at the features and benefits of my product. Look how great it is. Look, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to compare my product to the competitors. And we check off that we're non-GMO and vegan and cat friendly and dog friendly and this and that. And their product is not. People don't give a shit about that. Okay. Look at Red Bull. I know they're big. Look at Truff. I know they're big. Look at Graza. I know they're big. Look at Dr. Squatch. I know they got sold. They're big. Look at Liquid Death. I know they're big. They all started somewhere. They sell on emotion. They don't sell on features and benefits. No one gives a shit about your product and your fucking story. Okay. They don't care. Sell on emotion. Okay. That's the problem. It's entertainment, social media. It's brand awareness. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop selling that your features, that you're a better product than what's out there. Okay. The number one selling product in convenience stores across the United States in the snack category is Snickers bar. Okay. Why? Everyone knows it. Tastes amazing. They know it. Priced right. Major distribution. Don't tell me you're coming out with a better for you Snickers bar and going to try to take some of that market share. Okay. Find your customer and sell to your customer.
That's great, Mike. Let me kind of come back in for the last few minutes. First of all, this is one of the best conversations personally that I needed to have this morning for a variety of reasons. I'm feeling a little bit of emotion, quite frankly, because of some of the stuff that we've been doing with some of our founders. We love them all, but they need.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't bullshit me. You don't love them all.
Love some of them, but they need to start listening to us as a client. Like, you hired me, you start listening. And then one of the realities of me, and you just punched me in the face, I need to do a better job of communicating back to them as well in terms of what the realities are. Sometimes we tell them, at least I do, I tell them what they want to hear, and we need to stop doing that and tell them what they need to hear. Just give them the reality. And I go back to the tortoise and the hare. If you want to build a brand, one account at a time, one consumer at a time, we're the right stop. But if you're trying to chase rainbows and all that, we're probably not the right stop, for us. So that was a good reality. But I want to,
look, Sam, look, we all have to be therapists here, right? And I get on with brands, and the brands that are listening, any brand that's reached out to me, they will shake their head yes. And when they send me a message, in the reply back, it says, 30 minutes, have your camera on, get ready to go hard and heavy and fast, and I don't bullshit. And my slogan for FS Octopus is the clear, concise, to the point, in your face, no BS approach to alternative channel and food service.
I love it.
Okay. So I tell them, hey, your website sucks. It's horrible. Okay. Clean that shit up. You haven't posted in months. You better start posting. Stop this. I tell it straight like it is. If they don't like it or they can't handle it, fine. Part ways with me. I don't care. I'll see you on the bankruptcy or out of business in 6 months or a year. I'll see it. I see it all the time.
I love it. So, Mike, so we ask everybody that comes on the show a question. After I ask you the question, then we'll wrap up and have you maybe some parting thoughts as well as Adam and Caress. But we ask everybody this, and I'm sure you're going to have a great answer to this. And there's no right or wrong answer. But what is the difference between success and failure?
Well, first of all, people have to define success. You switched over from caress. I'm looking at you now. Success is everyone's definition. God, it's like I'm all over the place. It's like I give you anyway. Success is a loaded question. There's no right or wrong answer for what success is and what failure is. I could coin Thomas Edison, which I believe said, "I haven't failed. I just have done 10,000 things that didn't work," or whatever his coinage is. But at the end of the day, that's someone's perspective on what success is and failure is. And it's about realistic expectations and your perspective. My definition of success for any brand that I work with or any brand that's out there is they plan their work, they work their plan, they have a target market, they know what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, they're flexible. I have a little bamboo tattoo right here on my arm that really means something to me. Bamboo is the symbolism of Japan. I don't look like Adam because he's loaded with tattoos. I have like 2 little ones and I'm happy. Bamboo is flexible yet strong. So everyone's definition of success is different. I know what people think success is. They're gonna launch their business. They're gonna gradually grow. They're gonna be in 47,000 distribution points in 3 years. They're gonna be doing 19 million in sales, and they're gonna sell it for 100 million. And they're gonna go to Fiji and live their happy life. That's all bullshit. Fame and money doesn't mean shit. It's about purpose. Pablo Picasso had a great quote one time. I believe he said this. If not, I don't know who said it. Doesn't really matter. He said, "The 2 most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why." And that's the most important thing. Why are you on this planet? What are you going to do? Whatever that is, find your passion, find what you love to do, and take a lot of advice from a lot of people, but do what you need to do that will be successful in your eyes, because everyone is different out there.
I love that. That is great. Thank you, Mike. And then what would you want to leave everybody with today? Obviously we can maybe how they find you or any points that you want to leave with brands that are watching this that you would want them to know.
First question, comment back is fsoctopus.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. S as in food service, octopus.com. All my information is there. If someone can reach out to me, I absolutely love chatting with brands. Um, final words would be, I think if I could really bullet point it, I would be strategic, be smart, think things through, have a clear path with a vision. And I'll put it in terms of exercise or wanting to lose weight or gain muscle or whatever. It doesn't happen overnight, or finding love for that. Simon Sinek, great guy, one time said, there is no clear-cut answer to finding love or working out. And there is no like, I start here and then in a week, it's gradual and it's very slow and you don't know. But explore the world. Stop playing in the ocean. Start playing in rivers, lakes, streams, and ponds. Reach out to me. I'll slap you around a little bit if you want to be slapped. I tell everyone when I first get on, do you want me to be honest and real with you? Or you want me to be nice? And they said, real. All right, cool. And we dive in. So that's just who I am. And
I can't wait to introduce some of our brands to you, especially in those channels that you work with. I think you could help a lot of the brands we work with, because we have some NA products and functional products that I actually think you could really help. So I'm looking forward to actually discussing that with you in the future. One thing I'll leave with, I'll let Adam close it down, is I'm a piece of exercise equipment. And if you know how to, take care of me and work with me, I'm going to be very successful for you. But if you don't, this is going to be a very tough ride. So that's
right.
in reality.
We all are exercise equipments. I don't give a shit what it is in industry.
Yeah.
If you're a realtor and a real estate broker, if your client's not utilizing you properly, it's a waste. And that's the problem with people out there, is they think brokers are going to be their children and do what they're supposed to do. It doesn't work that way. So exercise equipment, tennis racket, golf club. whatever.
That's a great example that I'll be using going forward. Adam?
Oh boy, I mean, I think this was, it was a great conversation for sure. And Mike, I really enjoyed it. And thanks for your time this morning. I think it's just yet another, not that all of our guests aren't great, but I think we should have a separate section of the podcast where it's just, you want your feelings hurt in a very useful way, go here, right? Because I think there's a few of these we do where, and not because like I think the other ones are pulling punches, but just the conversation, especially when you start talking about distribution or lack thereof, or having a focus on your customer or whatever. Like, it's stuff that people get passionate about because you should. Because if you're not passionate about it, if you don't have a clear choice, you don't have anything, right? Like you're to your point, right? Like I've never had somebody say anybody with a mouth, but I've had people say, well, our product's for everyone. Well, then your product's for no one, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I feel the same way about, I've got a group I'm working with where I'm like, what do you do? Well, we do everything. Well, then you do nothing, right? Like if you can't define it, it just doesn't work. And so, yeah, no, love the specificity, love the passion, and whether opinionated is the right word or not, I think we all understand that there's value in having one. So yeah, this has been great. And thank you, Mike. I appreciate the time.
Yeah.
Appreciate to be with you.
Chris,
Thank
any
you.
closing thoughts?
Mike doesn't work for free. I like that. I do think one thing I got out of it, don't worry about what the other guy's doing. Focus on you and what you need to do, your plan. Put your eyes on your work.
You know what? And it's really, I'll close by this. It's someone, I read this the other day and it really did hit me. And it's very, very, very simple. I love quotes, but this isn't really a quote. My chapter 27 in your chapter 1 are very different. So don't compare to what's out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone is different. I'll end by a quote from Walter Payton. I have all kinds of quotes. I just pulled him out of my brain. Walter Payton one time said, and who doesn't know Walter Payton, an amazing football running back who passed away years ago, one of the best, if not the best. He said, when you are good at something, you tell everybody. When you're great, they tell you.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
thank
that too.
you. So all of you, please remain on the line as we close down. You can find us, I believe, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Chris, I'm assuming, streaming. I want to thank, Alias Advising and Bev Assets, as well as our friends at Freebird for sponsoring our
Jay, right?
podcast. Yeah, Jay Williams. He
Williams,
shows
yeah.
up in every one of my conversations,
Man.
Mike. He's just like
Guy's like
everywhere.
fungus, man. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, but he shipped me a few cases, so he is a sponsor of this podcast officially.
Well, hopefully he's listening because he never sent me shit. So and
Yeah,
we're kind of
there you go.
friends.
Jay does occasionally capture this or capture our episodes. So, but anyway, I wanted to thank Freebird, but remain on the line. Thanks everybody for joining us on this Saturday. Sorry, we're live raw and real. So sometimes we go live when we don't know we're live. So take care, everybody. See you next week.
Thanks, everyone.